What kind of buffering do you spend your time doing? Scrolling, eating? What about all the acceptable buffers, like putting everyone else in front of you, being a good wife, a good mother, an excellent housekeeper, all to the expense of your health? My name is Dara Thomason, and this is Love Yourself Thin, episode 243, Acceptable Buffering, and finding out why you really are struggling with that number on the scale. Today, I want to help disrupt this habit that you have that's actually causing you a lot of pain and you don't even realize it. I was coaching a client and we were having a conversation as a group on how to take responsibility for yourself. Inside my program, I have 5 pillars on permanent weight loss. So the first one is weight loss science is simple. It's where I teach you just the most essential things of how to have a successful weight loss. The second pillar is how to create your own eating plan and troubleshoot it. So you're finally the driver behind the food. So you're not dependent on other people telling you what to do all the time. The third pillar is being responsible for yourself. We have to start feeling our feelings instead of eating them or shopping or whatever distraction. But here we have number 4 is taking 100% responsibility. In the activity we were doing as a group was, how would you describe your relationship with yourself? Like, what would be your byline? Like, woman destined to always struggle with her weight, or woman never feeling good enough, or superwoman expected to do everything but always quietly exhausted. Okay, so we worked on what is that story, and then we started exploring why. And one of the activities we did inside the program was I asked them to write down, how did you get approval as a child? I was actually more specific. What did I learn to exchange for love and attention as a child? You can do that too. Was it getting good grades? Was it how well behaved you were? How many awards or accomplishments you received? Or how often you stayed out of trouble? Or maybe how many compliments that people gave your mom about you? Or how responsible you were, that you did things around the house? Like, what were the things that you exchanged? And as we went through that, it was really interesting to open up this door where a lot of my clients, they don't want to talk about their childhood and approval. But the problem is we only get one crack at childhood. One of my clients raised her hand and said, my mom has been criticizing my body since I was 4. So she was the youngest, and it felt like no matter how hard she tried, how diligent she was, how good a grades she got, how well organized her room was, or how nicely she played with others, it always came down to it was never enough because her body wasn't how her mom thought her body should be. So her mom would say things like, well, maybe you should eat this cottage cheese instead of this ice cream. Or maybe you should have the carrot sticks instead of the crackers. Constantly on her case for the way her body looked. One of the challenges for this woman, who is very accomplished in so many ways, like just incredible things that she's been able to do. But something that she discovered today, and I want you to ask yourself about buffering. She said, I have been spending most of my life with acceptable buffering, which is being well educated, being super successful in my job, being a very dedicated wife, making incredible meals, being an incredible homemaker, taking care of my child, going above and beyond in all of these responsibilities. So she's putting all of her energy into trying to prove herself. Now, buffering is when you do an activity to avoid feeling a certain emotion. she doesn't know how to process and work through this difficulty with her mom. Instead of just sitting with the sadness of, that's really sad that I have a mom that didn't accept me for who I was. That's a real bummer that my mom couldn't see how amazing I am, because the only lens that my mom could ever look at me is with weight. And so we explored that. And I said, what do you think that is about? She said, her response was, I have used food to quiet that noise for so long. So we came up with some strategies. And this is where, if we keep trying to lose weight with strict diets, willpower, and being unkind to ourselves, we're never going to get resolution. We'll get a short-term win, but it won't last. I asked her, do you ever just let yourself be so sad that you had a mom that was so mean to you? You should have seen her face. She was like, how are you even allowed to do that? And I said, what would it be like if you just put a timer on for 5 minutes and let yourself be super, super sad that was your experience? And I think one of the problems in the 80s, we thought you can't be too sad or else it will lead to depression. But that's not true. The more that we resist the emotion, that's when we have the problem. So the other thing I asked her was, what would it be like if we just were just really upset and really mad? Like, I am mad that I got that kind of mom. And the interesting part about this was she could see, yeah, I can see why this would be helpful. Why do I bring this up? Because so many of us think that weight loss is like eating chocolate or the muffin or whatever it is. But really what weight loss is, it's our relationship with ourselves. It's our relationship with learning how to work through difficulties and challenges. In fact, I have a client recently started working with her. She had huge success. She's in her late 60s and weighs less now than she has in like 40 years. She said to me, I would never have believed that this would be my reality. When she was a teenager, she wrote on her wall, eat to live, not live to eat. She just wanted to eat all the time. She thought food was the most important. As she started doing this, the foundation of weight loss science is simple. She used to be a school teacher. She really liked this framework of what was actually required for weight loss. And then when she learned that she can do make her own eating plan and troubleshoot it, she got really empowered by that. She had a lot more awareness and was able to lean into this process. However, her new buffer is not sleeping. Her time on the computer has accelerated because now she's spreading her buffers around. This is why traditional diets don't work. And they'll never work because they never address what's really happening. Happy you're here on my YouTube or listening on my podcast. What is required for permanent weight loss is to finally go into your brain and say, oh my goodness, I'm distracting myself over here with being the perfect mom or being the perfect wife. It's never going to be enough, because what I really need to focus my energy and attention on is looking at myself with honest, loving, compassionate eyes and start figuring out, oh gosh, I've been distracting myself with all these things that don't really matter. I have this wonderful book. It's by Dr. Kristen Neff, and it's called Mindful Self-Compassion for Burnout. Tools to help you heal and recharge when you're wrung out by stress. Wouldn't you say that weight loss and this pursuit of losing weight in order for you to feel better, that's a huge source of stress. This is what I want you to do. Take a daily inventory. I don't care about what you eat. You don't have to write down what you've eaten. Doesn't matter. What I want you to focus on is, how are you using your time? How are you directing your energy? In previous episodes, I spoke about mind juice, our mental capacity. We only have so much energy every day. And if we do not use it properly, we drain ourselves and become exhausted, needing that quick dopamine hit that we know doesn't help. So, as we think about our day and as we think about that challenge that I gave you of throughout the day doing an inventory of what am I spending my time on? Because what you think is what you become. And that is why this weight loss through life coaching is such an impactful and meaningful process. In order for us to truly change, we have to figure out how we're thinking and how that's influencing the rest of our life. If you're like my client who has tried so many different diets and has been successful in so many areas, but is not finding a lot of joy. She can feel frustrated, resentment, regret, and disappointment. She is trying to earn her worth or feel better about herself through all these different buffers. They're never going to give it to her. So she can be the best homemaker. She can be the best wife. She can be super scholarly. She can make a lot of money in her job and make all these career advancements and on paper look amazing and incredible. But inside, she never feels enough because she's on that hedonic treadmill and never feeling enough. If you want to take weight loss and make it real, you need to learn the emotional components. So it will be very interesting. Do that just even for one day. Do an inventory of what did I spend my time thinking about? It won't take you long to figure out that's why you're not having success. If you want tools and direction, I call it being when you're at a bar, I never go to bars, but they have the bouncer. That's right. The bouncer at the bar who, like, if there's a problem, they kick you out. I say there's a bouncer in my head. There's no negative self-talk, no beating myself up, no trying to prove my worth because my worth is already set. I'm not wasting my time on those things because they do not help me. If you're ready to make those changes, learn those tools, and create new neural pathways and healthy patterns, you got to check out my lifetime program or work with me one-on-one. I will talk to you. All of those links are in the show notes. Until next time, before I say goodbye, I'm filming this for the second week of March. Check out my upcoming Quilters Life Summit, where you will learn how your brain and body work together, how that will help you not only get more quilting done, but to be more creative, to have more meaningful conversations, relationships, and all as a consequence, you will lose physical weight because you're doing the work. Take care. Bye.